Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to my channel Once Upon a Stitch. Today is Monday, August 12th, 2024. It is my 151st Flosstube and I'm so happy to be with you here today. It's been a morning already. I was into my video and my phone rang and I had to answer. It was one of the doctor's offices. So I had to stop it. And being it was in the beginning of the video, I just said, I'll just start from the beginning. So welcome. And today has been a day already. It's Monday. Did I tell you that? The 12th of August, around noontime. I know I said it in my first video. I don't know if I said it here, but it's around noontime. I just dropped off my sewing machine at another place to be serviced or fixed, not serviced, fixed. I brought it to the first place and he wasn't familiar with electronic sewing machines. And when he had it for 3 weeks and he said he had somebody that would come in and it just didn't work. So I told him I was picking it up and I made a few phone calls and I found one, that's about a good 45 minutes away. But I knew that I was content with talking with them, that they would be the ones that would be able to have somebody that knew how to work on these machines fix it. So I dropped it off this morning. My friend Alva was to come with me, but unfortunately her air conditioner stopped working and she had to call for service on it. And luckily they came and they fixed it. But by that time I had already left and Sal agreed to come for the ride with me. And he waited in the car. It didn't take that long once I got in there. I didn't get a chance to look around, but I figured Alva will come with me when I go pick it up and we'll check out all the fabrics there and pick up my machine. They said that the service on it, any service that they do is guaranteed for a year. So that's a good thing. Anyway, I have some notes here. I have some happy mail and I have lots of stitching to show you. So I'm going to get right into it. But the first thing I want to say is besides sending them, I want to just acknowledge it here, the passing of Daleen Wilson from So Grateful. I remember watching her very first video and I thought she was such a positive, giving person. Every video she would bake something and offer it out to us. And she was kind and generous and so full of life and always, tried to project that onto her viewers. So she will be greatly missed. And I'm sure you all know of Daleen. And if for some reason you don't, because it's been a while since she did make a video, her videos are still up if you'd like to see them. And she was so SEW grateful. Okay, I just want to thank everybody for all the well wishes for my husband, Sal. He had his knee replacement the 31st. So it's a week and four days, I think. He was in the hospital just overnight and I went to pick him up the next day. We came home and I went to fill all his prescriptions. And he has physical therapy now at home last week and this week. And then we start physical therapy in a rehabilitation center. So we have an appointment on Monday. We have an appointment tomorrow as a follow-up with the doctor's office. So, but thank you so much for the well wishes. I think he's doing pretty well. I think much better than when he was at his first knee replacement on the other leg. I think he's further along, but he's still uncomfortable and still has to take his pills. Okay, what else would I want to tell you? Okay, I got a thank you card with a lovely sentiment inside from Robin, and I love this card. Thank you so much, Robin, and you're welcome for the pattern. Then I got a thank you card from, I think this one is, yes, Kay. She sent some fabric to me and said that she hopes I used it or tried it. And some of them is above the count that I usually stitch on. Some of it is 36, I think. So I'm going to try the 32 with some magnifiers and see if I can work on it. And if not, I have a lot of stitchy friends that stitch on high count fabric, so they'll be able to enjoy some of this. So thank you, Kay. Thank you very much. And then Barbara asked me to give her my address. She wanted to send me something. And she too wrote me a lovely note and gave me a piece of 32 count linen. It's a beautiful color. I think I can use this with an ornament so that I can get used to working on a 32. I'll use my magnifiers as well. And she gave me some patterns. Let me save all my notes. Summer Snapperland. This is the bike ride. This one is the whale house. Caleb is infatuated with aquatic life. He loves going to the aquarium, and he has whales. We bought him a set of whales from Amazon. His parents bought him whales. His other grandparents bought him whales. I mean, he is so into them. And if you tell him, like, oh, this is a I don't know, blue whale. No, Grandpa, it's a sperm whale. Like, he knows just by looking at them. But I think all kids do that are really into whales. They learn them very quickly when they're young. This one is the beach. I love the beach. Don't think I'll get it down there this year, and this one is the lighthouse. So they could either be done individually, which I think I might do, instead of all together. Then she sent me a Lizzie Kate, which I think is adorable. A BFF, OMG, TMI, LOL. This one is a Samsara. I have, I think, one Samsara pattern. I've never stitched them yet. This one's called Sunny Days. And then this is, I like this. This is Words to Live By. Pray always, love one another, have faith. I love that. And I think a beautiful variegated thread would look lovely with that. Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street. I have to check my stash. I might have this. If I do, this will be a future giveaway. Merry Little Birthday. Have yourself a merry little birthday. From Samsara. And this is one of my favorites. This is Dancer by Barbara Anna. Let's see, there's some glare on here, but it's the reindeer with all the houses and his antlers. It's funny, my stitching group, whenever there's a house pattern, they always say, like, Laura, you want this one? Because they know I like to, for some reason, I stitch a lot of houses. Last night we had a Zoom call that was with Dena from Half Stitch Cross Stitch, and Donna, and my friend Dee, and my friend Donna, and we stitched. It wasn't a planning video, it was a stitching video where we just chatted and stitched the night away until our eyes couldn't hold it anymore. Some people probably continued stitching, but I did not after that call. And then on this past Saturday, we had a library meetup, our monthly meetup. Our next one is September 14th, 10 to 2. I got there a little bit later, and I left a little bit earlier because I didn't want to leave Sal for so many hours. Even though he can get around and everything, I just wanted to be around. So I guess that's about it as far as, the biggest thing. Gianna's birthday is this month, and they celebrated it yesterday at Dairy Queen, and there was like about 30 children plus adults. So this is Gianna's, and that's Talia, and of course that's Gianna with my son James and daughter-in-law Amy. And let's see, we have the grandparents. Unfortunately, Sal couldn't be there, but that was us. And then I took a picture of my other son, Michael, and Rebecca, and the children. And Layla's eating her ice cream. Caleb's feeding himself. And there were about, I would say, about 30 children there. It was a big Dairy Queen. They had the store on one side, and then they had booths for like other adults that wanted to, or children or teenagers that sit and eat. And then they had a separate room on the other side for parties like this. So it worked out really well. Okay, now let's get into the stitching. What I've been stitching. Okay. This was a new start. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it all here. This is Country Cottage, and it's called the Summer Seascape Series. And I started with the blue, I don't know, is this called the Blue House? Starfish House. Oh, those are starfish in the corner here. So I started with this. I'm not going to do this border on this time. I'm going to leave this out, but I will frame them out and stitch them just like that. So I started on that house. And it comes with the threads. I'm going to flash this real quick because there's a pattern. See, it'll come with threads like this. So with each section, I opened it up and I put it into my little baggies. And I called it what they called it. Like this is a walk the plank, for instance. And I'm stitching this on a 28 count ice blue Lugana. And that's how far I've gotten. Not too far. But a start is a start, and some stitches will add up. Okay. Oh, I left this in the Q-snap. I don't usually leave things in the Q-snap, but this is Primrose Cottage, White Christmas 2022. And I started this, like I got this section up here, very little, at the New Jersey retreat. And it was our 3 and 3. So this was one of the 3 and 3. 3 new starts in 3 hours. So I finished most of it. I did not put the white in the snowflakes around. I think I'm going to do beads into those. And her eyes, I think I'm going to make them, I haven't decided if I'm going to make them black or blue. But there's so much blue there, I think I'm going to make them black. And then I have to do her mouth yet. Let me show you. Let's see, where is she? There she is. And then I haven't done the white in here either. So I don't know if I'll do, I think I'll do the white threads in this section, but the beads in the stars. So I'm hoping, I don't know if I scheduled to work on this next. I don't think so. Next month is ABC Cinco. And if, for those of you that are not familiar with it, it's from the Magazine Monthly Challenge that on in September, we stitch the alphabet minus 1 letter because a bingo board is 25 numbers. We make it letters. And Carolyn Zook, who administers this with Robin, a friend Robin, Carolyn will post the letter the night before so that you know what to stitch on the next day. And I believe the goal is only 100 stitches, but I'm going to try and, like whatever's called, work on it for the day. September is always crazy for me because that's when I start babysitting again. But I'll do the best I can. I think I could accomplish 30 stitches. In a day, even when I'm tired. Then I picked up Month to Month September by Stitching with the Housewives. And was hoping to get further along, but I didn't. I worked on the barn. Actually, I finished the barn and I started the tree. For some reason, I don't know why, the barn is 1 stitch longer in order for it to line up with this bottom. And I don't know why, because everything is counted off of something and it all matched up, except, anyway. I didn't do any of the fancy stitching in here. I just liked it plain for a barn. And so I just had to make the trunk of the tree 1 row higher so that the rest would line up. So I'm working here in this tree and these 2 apples, and then I have this top section to do. So I don't think it's going to be done for September, but it's progress nonetheless. Oh, and this is being stitched on my little note here, 16 count white Ada. Every time I have a finish, I always say like, oh, this is probably going to be the last finish for this year, because a lot of things I'm starting still in the months to come, but the other things that I'm working on seem to be large, and because of my rotation, I don't touch everything every month. So I never think I'm going to have a finish. So we had a WIP go this month. I don't know where my board is right now, but one was something I had already completed, so I just had to exit out. And the other number that they called was a new start that wasn't planned out of the, it ended up being 52. So there were 2 new starts on the WIP go board. So this is the first that wasn't planned. And I saw my friend Dee had finished this, and I really liked the finished product of it. So I said, I have that pattern, I'm gonna try it. And that's Lizzie Kate's Spring Smalls, and it's Buzz, Buzz, as I would tell the kids. And this is being stitched on a 14 count, a piece in the draw Ada. It's like a light green because it called for seafoam linen. So, and this is the called for thread, which was Purple Haze. Oh, I used the DMC 3740. And here we are, and it's a finish. Okay, granted, this is a small piece. I worked on this when Sal was in the hospital. And there's the little dragonfly. Oh no, bumblebee. Bumblebee. So it's something I have to finish, and that's why I miss my machine now. But then again, I have so much to finish. Okay, this I haven't picked up in a while. And this is Winter in the Village by Stony Creek. And I started at this end, and I was working across, and I was on the needlepoint shop. Oh, I was further along. I'm on this one's the needlepoint shop. This one's the toy store. It's just school. So I'm over here. And I did all this cross stitching in the needlepoint store, and I started the outlining, but I have not finished. So, and I did one section of outlining where I shouldn't have, because I try to wait till if there's something to be butted up, and over here I outlined it, so if I have to go over it I will. So I finished all the outlining on this section. I have to put in the words, and I did this one window, and I have yet to do those windows. And did I do the top? I did do the top, the chimney and this gable area, the snow. So I haven't done this because that'll butt up into the next one, and the needlework, and then these 2 windows, and then I'll move on. I enjoy the back stitching in this. I don't mind it at all. So I stitched all this up, and then I started the back stitching. And I think this is so cute that it has this little tassel, a stitch that goes down that's supposed to be a tassel. One shade is higher than the other, but that's fine. I don't think it was, and this is what it looks like. I don't think it was charted like that, but it is what it is. That's where I am so far. I think it's so pretty. I love those colors. Would I finish this year? I don't think so, but I could finish it maybe the first half of next year. It all depends how often I select it to work on. Okay. This is going to be a short video, but that's okay. Let's see, I wrote notes. Oh, what I have to do left in the block. Because sometimes, you know, like you work on something, you don't pick it up right away. You don't remember everything that has to be done. So I had started this block. Let me get this out of the way. And these flowers were in, I had to take them out. They were misplaced. So I started with frogging. I finished the entire outlining of the box. Then I did the horse, the wagon, the driver. So what I have left to do is the inside of the flowers up here to make them look like the inside in here. They're little yellowed specks. The moon, there's a moon over here. The side, there's a brown that goes underneath the horse and the wagon, like one or two stitches of brown, and then the grass underneath it. And then there's a rain from his hand to the horse. So that's what I have left. So that's what my note says, because it's like a little bit here, here, here. So I decided to write it down so I wouldn't forget anything in it. And this is where I'm at the library right now. Another one where I love these colors. So when I pick this up again, I'll finish the block and then work down on the, this is where the genre will be, like this will be romance, and I don't remember off the top of my head, mystery. This is gonna be Western. And the last one is the classics. This is what it looks like. So pretty. And these flowers, like, they just, such a nice little touch. And this is stitched on a 28 count. Golden Promise Lugana. Let me hold it up again so you can see the fabric. Golden Promise. That will be really pretty when it's done. Okay. This is Leela's Studio Spring Quaker. And this is the second time I'm picking it up. I put on a piece of fabric on the border so I can attach it closer, because I think, not that it was tight, but I wanted to make sure I left enough room to have enough room to finish it. Okay, so the last time you saw it, I had the ABC, this big motif, the heart, and this flower with a stem up to here, but no leaves. So I finished this motif, this little one here, the F, the I, the J, these two motifs, the B, and this says no M, no matter. And that's where I'm at. And this is on a 28 count sand dune. Oh, let me get in there. So pretty. So, let's see. I'm working on this side. So I could either come down and do this motif before working across here. I think there's like 4 pages. I believe it was like this one, then that one, this one, and then that one. But I'm not really sure if it's 4 or 8 pages or 6 pages. It's a lot of pages. Maybe it's not 4 pages. It says 12 pages. Oh, that's a different pattern. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. I don't know if that was something that you're interested in knowing. But I really enjoy working on this. Don't fall. Let's flip it the other way. Okay. This is so close, but so far. This is a perfect house, a perfect world from the Scarlet House. And I finished 3 flowers, 1 large, 2 small. First I'll show you what I stitched. Okay, I stitched in this flower. I brought this to the library with me, thinking that maybe I can do the black, but I decided to start on the flower. And I worked it off of this leaf. But for some reason, it didn't match up. So I pulled it out twice, not just once, twice. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna work from the bottom up. And that's what I did, and it worked out. And even it lined up, I don't know what happened. But twice I pulled it out. When I got home, I redid it and figured it out. And so I did this flower, this one, and this one. And then I started the black from in here. I had all this black to do and all this black, and I got up to here, and they said that was it. So I have this flower I have that goes in here, and then the rest is all black fill in, and I'll be done. And here is what it will look like. And this is on a 28 count Heritage Lugana. Look how close, so close. Love this piece. And it says, in a perfect world, you would find me here with the birds and the flowers and the dogs and the deer. There were small birds over here on the fence. Oh, they were done 1 over 1. But since there's birds in here, I figured it takes care of the birds in the saying. So I will not be doing the 1 over 1 on this. And then finally, I worked on His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. And for those that have been following me, I cut it short. And somebody made a comment like, oh, I didn't realize how big it was. And I'm not even doing the whole pattern. So I cut it to about here. And after the border, I just filled in with motifs from down in here. So let me show you what sections I put in. So on this side, I put in the rabbit. This was done. Then on this side, I put in the flower and the rabbit. Then I moved my Q-snap to the center because I needed to put in, let's see, this bird, because this and this was here. And then I did these two flowers to finish the bottom. So then I had to chart my initials and the year to go in the cartouche up here. And I decided to do it in blue. I picked a blue that was in the pattern. And I finished it. So let me show you it in its entirety. I don't think I can. Let's see. There you go. And I'll bring it in so those of you that are stitching on it could see it. I know a lot of people are stitching on it, but they're doing the entire pattern. I had difficulty reading the pattern and I got frustrated and decided to cut it shorter. And that's the whole thing. So I'm so happy that I was able to finish this. And if I didn't say, that was a 28 count heritage Lugana. And it's cool to be stitched on 28 count. So it's, and I know a lot of people are stitching it on 40 to make it smaller. And the companion piece is something, the lilies. Oh boy, the brain. Can't remember right now off the top of my head. Consider the lilies. Yes. So that's, I think I've covered everything. And the His Eyes on the Sparrow was my oldest WIP. And I stitched it. Oh, I counted up all the days that I spent on it. So I always, if I was monogamous and I had good stitching days, I could have finished it in 45 days, because that's how many days it took me to stitch on it. And I don't know if it's around here somewhere. I will find it. Oh, here it is. This is what I do when I stitch. I have this binder, and it's not the neatest, but it's for me. And for instance, this was, starts here, The Scarlet House, A Perfect World. And I started it December 3rd, 2021. This happens to be open, that's why, because I just made an entry today and I showed it to you. And so I write down what dates and the year, like this was 2021. I didn't do, so I just, okay, that was December. December 2021, and then this is January 2022, and somewhere along here we go, 2023, and that's November, so this was 2024 in February. So I haven't finished this yet. I put in my August, what I got completed in it, and that's what I do as far as, I don't know, in case somebody wants to know. And this was, like, for instance, this was Needlepoint Press and Be Kind. So I started in January, I finished it in March. It took me 10 days. And so that's what I do. I keep track of it that way, and then I count up the days. This is where it started, Heartstring Samplery. I put something in the wrong place here, but then I kept going and I added it up and it came to 45 days. Every year, at the end of the year, I'll add up how many days I worked on it, and I put it in a different book so that then I can add the finish date and count out how many days I worked that year as well. So I have like a dual system in keeping track of how many days something took me. If I don't put it in here, like Buzz from Lizzie Kate, I didn't put in here because I finished it within the 2-day rotation. So, so I wouldn't just write that in. Not normally. Sometimes I'll put it in before I even stitch it, and then I finish it, and that's why it's in there. But otherwise, sometimes I'll wait now, not to take up space for a little 2-day project. Anyway, I guess that's it for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm always here to help and answer any questions you might have. And let's see. Yeah, I'm going to be busy with taking Sal to his physical therapy in the beginning. Hopefully I'll be able to stitch while I'm waiting, if they allow people to wait in their waiting rooms there. And let's see, Rebecca goes back to work next week. So I'll have Caleb and Layla 2 days a week. So I have 3 people to take care of. Lucky me. Actually, they came over one day when we were at the hospital. Rebecca was dropping off some food that she prepared. And I said, oh, let the kids play if they want to play with the toys, it's fine. And Layla walked in and Caleb went right to the toys. And Rebecca said, where's Grandma? And she started calling, Grandma, Grandma. And like, she was so lost. Where's Grandma? And then they came to visit one day. And Caleb came running in screaming, Grandma, Grandpa. So Layla was so excited that he was screaming. She just started screaming, ah! And running to us. So sweet. Oh, I hope you don't mind me sharing my grandchildren's stories. That's who I live for right now, my husband and my family. So until next time, be kind, enjoy yourselves, stay safe. And hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks and I'll have things to show you. Oh, I don't know if I've completely finished explaining ABC Cinco. Anyway, if you're done and you know what it is and you want to hang up, that's fine. But for those of you who are interested, ABC Cinco is like a bingo game. You get a bingo card and you write your letters in the boxes. You can do them in order. You can randomly move them around. And then for every letter, you assign it a project. For instance, I could use Angel of Light. I can use month to month September because there's apples trees in it for the A. So you make it work for every letter of the alphabet. And they take out one because a bingo card is 25 days and an alphabet's 26. So this time they took out the Y, which I was happy for. Even though I had things I could stretch to do, I was happy they took out the Y. So anyway, and then you make it work. And then in September, they start with September 1st. The night before, they pull a letter. And whatever you assigned the pattern to that letter, you would stitch it. They require just 100 stitches. And that's for the next day. So for instance, like August 31st, they'll call a letter for September 1st. So September 1st, you would stitch your 100 stitches, and then you have the option of, if you want to continue working on that for the day or a couple more hours, or you want to switch it out to stitch on something you want to stitch on. And if you have other acrostics, you can do that as well. You can do your 100 stitches and then move on. You have to take pictures before and after, and you have to post it into the group. And that's their way of seeing that you've done or you participated, basically. That's my problem. It's those pictures. I always forget that first one. I'm like stitching for an hour or so, and I'm like, I didn't take the picture. So anyway, so that's how we play. Now, of course, if you don't want to technically play on the group and you just want to do it for yourself, you probably can find out what letters are called, or you can join the group, the Magazine Monthly Challenge group. They ask you a few questions, and then they accept you and you can start participating, which wouldn't that be fun? For those that you are monogamous, you'd have to have your WIP and try to make it work for every letter. That's even more difficult. But some people do. They try to use a WIP and they try to use as many letters as they can for it. Like I could probably use Christmas Quaker 2, which has a lot of songs in it and motifs and Quaker. So I probably would be able to use it quite often if I wanted to do it. But I think for this one, and usually I try to do 2 projects in the game, but this time I'm trying to do just one day, one letter for the project. There are, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 that I double dipped on or use the same pattern, which is fine, but I wanted to have more variety for the month to get some stitches in on more items. So probably you'll see things that I haven't stitched on in a while, even if it's only for that one day. Hopefully it's a day that I get a lot to stitch on, like a weekend or something. Okay, I'm all done. Enough rattling. And I hope you, babbling. I try not to rattle, but I do babble. Take care, guys. Love you. Mwah. Take care.